Hello there, in this video we're going to look at our about page for our project, so let's go.
Okay, so let's move on to the next section. So we have some imagery, we've got some stats, there's another section over here with some extra text beneath it. I'm not entirely sure that I want to add more text in this section now, but let me just drag this across. Let's pop it in there for the moment. Okay, let's start by renaming this container. And let's just drag this up a little bit more. Let's remove the fill of white. I'm not entirely sure about this section here, so what I might do instead is, let me just click inside it, I might get rid of this and make this just a large image, so it's like a gallery showcasing maybe some current students, and then I can add some stats that are around these images at the top, and then yeah, maybe that could flow into the benefits section. Let's see. So starting out, let's just make this a little bit smaller. I don't want it this big. Maybe let's just do it 480 as a height. Okay, there we go. We've got rounded corners already, so that should be okay. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and I've used Pexels, so if you haven't used it before, as I mentioned in the last videos, you can go to the website or you can go to the plugin as well. Here it is, and you can search these free images that you can use in your designs. So it's there if you need it, so pexels.com, or use the plugin inside Figma. Okay, so let's paste in some imagery above. So let me just press Command V. Okay, now these have come in quite large. Let me just place them, let's place them there for now. Okay, so let me just scale these down so they're a bit more of an appropriate size. So on the first one, let's take this top-down shot and let's just go into here and let's paste that in there. And let's start by scaling this image up so it can fit inside this section here. So let's just leave a little bit of space just around the edges. And let's move that so that sits, yeah, that sits central. Okay, good. That can be the first image. Okay, what I'm going to do, let me just delete out these two, push these across a little bit, and let me just expand this image a little bit more here. So let's get this in line, so 480. Okay, let's just very, very quickly narrow that width down a little bit as well. Okay, so the next image, I think this would be a good one to use. So let's Command C and copy that. Let's click in here. Let's just Command V, so that pastes in. I'm going to get rid of that old image. Actually, I should probably check if we've got the old image in here. No. Okay, that's fine. Let's scale this image so it fits nicely. Okay, so I've scaled the image just enough so it goes outside of the frame. I think that looks good. Okay, let's work on the next image. Okay, what I'll do quickly, let me just pop that outside. Okay, let's take this image to begin with. Let's just move it over a little bit closer. I'll space this roughly for now, but then we can add like an auto layout or correct the spacing later. That should be okay. Right, so let's go ahead and let's take this guy. Let's go up here, click on this image, press Command V. Just going to get rid of the old image here. And let's just scale this back a little bit so we can see him. Now, as you can see, these images have been selected based on education and people learning. So yeah, these images should look relevant to this website and what we're talking about, which is design education. Okay, great. Let's go with that for now. Let's just take a copy of him and let's just pop it down. Let's just pop it down there for now. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to narrow this a little bit, just because it's taking up quite a lot of room. Let's do 560 for now. Let's leave it at that, just so we have a bit more room to push in some of our images. Let's just roughly space that out there. Okay, these images seem a little bit too tall. Let's just crunch these down a little bit. So let's try that for now. Just delete that. Let's take that there. Okay, let's go ahead and let's replace this image here. Let's use this guy. Let's go inside this image here. Press Command V. Let me just delete out the old image. Let's go in, select that image, hold shift and click with the mouse to scale down. So there we go, we've clicked and dragged the image down. Now let's just frame the person better inside the shape. So I want to show the fact that he's on a laptop. I want to show him as well. Yeah, I think that's a good framing for him. That should be okay. Let me just click off. Okay, let's take one of these. Let's just move it across and let's just get rid of the image here for a moment. Okay, let's go ahead and add some content to this card. So let's just put loved by. Let's do designers globally. We just shift A to put this in an auto layout just for the moment. We duplicate this. Let's put 100,000 plus. So let's just add some typography variables. Okay, there we go. So let's just adjust the space in between. Let's make it 8 for now. Let's tighten it up. And actually, let's put these as variables. Okay, good. There we go. Okay, next, let's option click and drag. And let's create another one. And now let's just revise the content inside this card. Okay, there we go. So located across 100 plus countries. I think that works well. 2 good stats that we can give on the top of the page. Let me just delete that out. Okay, now let's have a look at how we can get this to work with auto layout inside the container. Okay, so to begin with, let me just rename the layers. And for speed, I'm pressing Command R on the keyboard. So then it allows me to edit the layer name. Okay, let's rename this one as well. We can just call it statistic. We'll do the same for this one. Okay, so let's just start by, let's group these together. So let me Shift A on these, Shift A on these two, and we could Shift A on this one as well. Okay, so now we've got each of these in their own auto layout. Let's select all of these, press Shift A to put them in another auto layout. Let's put this inside one called images. Let me just collapse all the layers for a second just so I can see things clearer. Let's rename these to column 1, column 2, column 3. Okay, so let's select the images here on the left and the image number 4 on the right. Press Shift A. Let's put that inside, let's call it content for now. So we're inside our content. Let's just have a look. So to begin with, let's start by applying some spacing variables. So let's zero out the padding. Let's do the space between. Let's do 24 for now. Let's go inside here and let's change this one to 24 between as well. Let's zero out padding here. Okay, so let's adjust inside column 2 and column 3, that space between, and let's apply some spacing variables. Okay, there we go, so that's set to 24 as well. Okay, I'm just going to go to the container level, press Shift A as well. Let's zero out the space between, let's set 24 left and right, and let's just set the top and bottom for now to 24. Okay, so there is a bit of a gap here on this image on the right, so let's press Shift A on image 4. Let's go ahead and set it to fill, set the height to fill as well. Let me go ahead and go into the image and let's just scale it out a little bit more. Okay, there we go, so that image is scaled out a bit more. Okay, let's go ahead and in the images collection here, let's set this to fill, let's set the height to fill as well. Okay, let's set our columns here to fill on the width. Let's also do their height to fill as well. Let's go into here, into column 2, select both of these elements and let's select their height to fill. Let's do the same with the third column. So selecting this one and this one, so the statistic and the image. Let's go to height, set that to fill, and I am just going to go in here and slightly scale this image out a little bit more. Okay, I think what I want to do for this inner spacing, I want to just tighten it up, so let's do it to 16. Let's do the same as well for the, let's have a look at the content, so let's change that from 24 to 16. And let's go into these two columns, change that from 24 to 16. Okay, there we go. Okay, what I'm going to do on the statistics, let's just press Shift A, create an auto layout, and let's just set some spacing variables as well. Okay, now those spacing variables are set, I'm aligning everything center as well. So let's do the same for this one. So Shift A, align everything center, and let's set the spacing variables. Okay, great, that's now done. Let's go into this one here, because this image just needs to be adjusted up slightly. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Okay, so I think that's a good start for that top section of the page. I think what I would like to do, we've obviously taken the images from Pexels. I'd like to style them a little bit so they kind of fit with the theme that we're using for this website. So just looking at our home page, we've got that kind of purple hazy look over the images. So we might want to do something similar just so it brings everything in line and feel consistent. So let's go ahead and let's do that. Okay, so let's go across to our home page quickly and let's just steal the overlay. Okay, let's bring that back in and let's start with image 4, and let's just ignore the auto layout for the moment and let's bring that up. Okay, there we go. What I might do is we've got a gradient here in this top banner. Let's maybe adjust this overlay so it also contains a gradient. Okay, let's go in, let's detach that for a moment, go into the fill, go to gradient. Let's choose some different colors. So let's go lavender 5 and go back to libraries. I think we've got sky, so let's go sky 500. Let's flip that gradient round. Okay, and let's close that. So it is very subtle, but there's two colors now that we're using in the overlay. Let's just go into that overlay there. Kind of prefer that than just the purple. So what I might do, just copy that linear fill. Let's just try it here as well. So overlay, click here, paste it. Let me just turn that off for a moment. So that's the original. That's with just the sapphire. And that's with the linear. Let's go with that. Let me just, I'll keep it there for now. I won't remove it. But yeah, I'd quite like to use it consistently across all the pages. So if we've got any images, we can use this overlay. So let's stick with that. Okay, let's go ahead and apply this overlay to the other images. Okay, so there we go. So we've applied that overlay to the other imagery. So that kind of feels a bit more consistent. Let's look at styling these cards. Okay, so let's click into the first card. Let's go in here. Let me just expand the side panel out and just see what we have. So let's click on the statistic level. Let's go into the fill. Let's change that again. Let's go up to gradient. So let's click on the first stop, which is here. Let's go to libraries and let's start by applying lavender, but let's go for the 50. And let me just flip around this gradient. So that starts on the left. Let's go on the next stop. So go to libraries. Let's type in sky. Let's do 50. Okay, so now we've styled the card. Let's go in and style the text. So let's start with the fill of this text. Let's use sky 500 for these two elements here. Okay, and now the larger stat. Let's go in and let's apply lavender 500. So we've got a mix and match of both colours, so that complements each other well. Right, let's go ahead. Let me just grab this statistic here and let's go to column 3. I actually want to just copy these across, so let's just update the text. Okay, let's delete that out. Okay, and because we've got auto layout, that just snaps back nicely. Okay, so those are the cards done.
Okay, that's it for part 2 of the video. Part 3 will be next week, so like and subscribe, add some comments, and I will see you in the next video.